Okay, what's going on? It's a little colder from the last time that we talked about the Civic. I'm going to start breaking into it today. My goals are to get the radiator out. I've ordered a new radiator to get the exhaust, at least the manifold, off of the head, the intake section off of the head, and if we have time, I will crack the head off the block today. I got a quote on what it would be to resurface the head, and they said that as long as the valves don't have to be pulled, we're good to go. So I will try to get that done so that I can drop the head off tomorrow. I've ordered a gasket kit, being head and valve cover, and then I have also ordered a water pump timing belt kit. So let's get to it. Let's start cracking things apart. Okay, a little bit of progress made so far. We've got the left, which is the AC fan assembly, out. The other fan is in there, but it's pinned in a couple of ways I'll show you in just a sec. I've got the overflow, the top of the grill, the upper radiator hose, the two pins that, or excuse me, the two brackets with the grommets that hold the radiator on from either side, and the battery is of course out. So here's what we're looking at. Radiator is, oh I'm sorry, and I've also unbolted the lever that holds the latch that holds the hood down. So what we've got now is our radiator is pretty much only connected now at the bottom by the lower radiator hose. You can see that tab right there at the end of my finger with the hole in it. There's one there and there's one there. Those tabs correspond to these nipples on the bottom of the fan shroud. So the fans are held in with 10 mils, just two at the top. The overflow is held in with one single 10 mil, and then the upper grill has a couple of components. It has these push pins that you just unscrew and then you can pull out. And then along here, all along here, there's like 6 little Phillips head screws that you undo. You should be able to just get the radiator out now. It'll take a little bit of finessing, which I'm going to learn how to do. But you should not have to take your bumper off, contrary to what lots of media says. So we're going to get at it, and I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, so there's the proof that you do not need to pull your bumper off on these 7th gen Civics in order to get your radiator out. All that I did was pull back on these tabs a little bit to give it a little more clearance when I was pulling it up, and then you can just work it carefully and gently around this fan shroud. I left this fan in because it seemed like it was blocked by this AC line, and then it has, I don't know if you can see it right there, there's a wire loom that runs down there and it goes down around the bottom. It's plugged in a couple places. So I didn't really want to mess with that. I did unplug it from the top here so I could flex it a little bit, but I don't necessarily know if you had to do that. Anyways, that is out. And I think for the time being, I'm going to stop because that radiator job was more of a pain than I thought it was going to be. And I don't really want to take more apart and create more of a mess here until I get the new radiator in. So the new radiator will be here sometime early next week, and I will go ahead and put that in and continue working on this project. But until then, this one's going to be on hold. It will seem like no time at all for you guys, but the next time I turn this camera back on, I will be putting the radiator back in. So I will catch in with you guys at that time. Welcome back. Hopefully what seemed instant to you, unfortunately for me, was about a week to get the radiator. So we're going to put the radiator in. I wanted to get that done before I moved on to taking off the intake and the exhaust, or what I like to call the outtake, to get the valve cover and all that stuff off and move the head off. Because I already have taken so much stuff off, and we're still working with very, very limited garage space right now with everything in here. So I am trying to remain more organized than I usually do. So we're going to go ahead and pop this new radiator out, take a look at it, make sure that it looks all good and the fittings are all nice and tight and none of the fins are bent. And then we will move on from there and get this bad boy installed, get the top of the grill back on, the fan, put that fan back on. Right now it's just sitting in there, it's not plugged into anything. And then get the rest of the filler stuff back on. So I will check in with you guys in just a little bit. Well, there you go, it's in there, and that was not as hard as people make it out to be. There are a couple of fittings for if you have an automatic transmission. You can see one of them is right there at the end of my fingertip. That is for the transmission cooler, which I do not have because I have a manual. And there's another one on the other side under that fan right there. Working the fan shroud around it can be a bit of a pain, but it was not as bad as people make it out to be. So yeah, that's back in place. I'm going to put the drain plug back in. I pulled that out really quick to make it easier to get down around there. And I'm going to get the brackets back on so that this thing stops wiggling. It is sitting in the lower brackets already, so we're good there. I will put the part number down in the description below. I know it's probably hard to see, and I've had trouble getting this camera into focus in the past, but if you need that, that will be in the Amazon link below. And I'm gonna keep plugging away, getting this thing put back together. I'm going to get those brackets back on and then do the upper shroud. Then I will work on the piping. So I'll catch up with you guys in a little bit. Okay, I actually decided to go for getting the other fan on first, and it was super easy. You just drop it in, all the bolts line up. This is a pretty, as far as I can tell, quality piece. Denso usually makes good stuff, so I trusted that to buy, and it's got like 1,000+ reviews with like 4.8 stars on Amazon, so that's good enough for me. Single row, because I'm not trying to upgrade anything on this car. I just want to keep it stock, daily drive it. But yeah, good fit so far. The hardest part, I think, is the last part, which is getting this bad boy back on, just because it goes on there with these little Phillips screws. So just a matter of lining this up, clicking it down into place, and getting those Phillips screws in. So I'm going to take care of that now, and I'll check in with you guys when that's done, and then I'll put the overflow in, and we're going to be done with the radiator project. I'll work on the head another time, but I just wanted to get this done so I could work on the head when the time comes. Okay, we're all set back up. Actually getting that upper cowling for the grill back on was super, super easy. And it's on there, I'm pulling pretty hard. It's on there rock solid. Yeah, this was a super easy project. I don't know why every video online tells you that you need to take the bumper off. You absolutely do not. So let's go over the steps one more time. Get these out of here. They are actually threaded. There's 4 of them. Just go ahead and unscrew them and then pop out the little, they look kind of like a little octopus in there. Just pop out that little claw that holds the tension. Take your cap off. Take your latch off. And I have already closed the hood and opened it a couple times to test the integrity of the latch since I put it back on. But take your latch off. Turn the latch out of the way. Peel this plastic cowling up. Unscrew the, I think, 6 Phillips screws that go across. Take your cowling off. Put your cowling to the side. Obviously, undo your radiator hoses, undo your fan bolts. There are 2 at the top on each side. Unclip your fans, wiggle your radiator up and out, and that's pretty much it. There are the little radiator caps that are on either side. There's just 2 of them. Everything here is either a Phillips screw or a 10mm. This project can be done easily within an hour. No need to take your bumper off. And you can just bend your bumper out of the place. It will sit kind of on the corner of the headlight, and then you could just pop it back in. It just popped into place, and I think it looks great, no issues. And like I said, this project was very, very straightforward. No need to take your bumper off. I cannot stress that enough. Every video that I watched said take your bumper off. You do not have to do that. So anyways, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. I'm gonna start working on the head in another video, and we will go from there. So thank you so much for watching. Part numbers are in the description below. Anything you purchase in those Amazon links directly supports the channel, and like and follow. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.